Welcome to the Transatlantic Entrepreneur Podcast, the ultimate guide for European founders and businesses looking to grow their revenue with American clients, partners, and investors. The U.S. market is the land of opportunity, where ambitious entrepreneurs break through barriers, win more clients, and scale their success to new heights. Now it's your turn to make your mark. Here's your host, founder of the company Transatlantia and trusted mentor behind Europe's most successful transatlantic entrepreneurs, Christina Rebuffet-Broadus.
Are you wondering how you can stand out in the U.S. market as a foreign entrepreneur? You're not alone. Building authority in America requires a new playbook, and today I'll show you how to elevate your profile to attract your ideal U.S. clients. In this video, you'll learn the proven strategies that European entrepreneurs use to build trust and authority in the U.S. market, overcome cultural barriers, and position themselves as leaders in their industries without losing their unique identity. If you don't know me, I'm Christina Rebuffet-Broadus, the founder of Transatlantia. We're a training and consulting company that helps European entrepreneurs attract American clients, grow their revenue, and thrive in the U.S. market. Our clients are already successful, even references in their fields at home, but when they step into the American market, they feel invisible. And that's because what works in Europe often just falls flat in the U.S. I mean, I've been there myself, just in the other direction. When I moved to France from the US, I had to completely change my approach to gain traction in this new cultural context. And of course, I made a lot of mistakes, but that helped me to understand the exact struggles that you're going through and that now I can help my clients build a thriving business across the Atlantic. First, let's look at why elevating your profile matters in the US. Well, in Europe, modesty and professionalism often go hand in hand. And you may be used to clients coming to you through referrals or recognizing your expertise naturally over time through what I call quiet competence. But in the US, it's the opposite. Americans expect you to show up, to speak up, and to prove your worth loudly and consistently. Americans often equate visibility with credibility. If they don't see you in the media, on LinkedIn, at industry events, they assume that you're not a serious contender. And also, results are key. European clients may value your methodology. And actually, in fact, I had never even heard the word methodology before I came to France, because Americans want to hear about your outcomes, the revenue you've helped generate, the problems you've solved, and the lives that you have transformed. And if you don't take the lead in promoting yourself, you'll struggle to break through all of that noise in the US market. Now, there are some struggles that I've seen European entrepreneurs face over and over again. And the first one is fear of over-promoting. Many people that I work with worry that talking about their achievements will come across as arrogant. But in the US, self-promotion isn't optional. It's expected. And the trick is to focus on the results and the outcomes, which feels more natural than simply just listing out your accolades. The second mistake is inconsistent visibility. Americans trust people that they see consistently. Sporadic LinkedIn posts or one-off media appearances, that won't cut it. You need a steady drumbeat of content that keeps you top of mind. And you might think, yeah, but I'm too busy to do social media. And if you're thinking that, then you're just missing the point here. The third mistake is not being strategic. Some entrepreneurs hope that opportunities will just come to them. But in the US, you have to actively seek out media, speaking engagements, partnerships. You have to find the right people, pitch them in a way that grabs their attention, and then follow through. And this is something that we do focus on in the Transatlantic Entrepreneur Accelerator, all about creating a clear strategy to make your efforts intentional and impactful. So, how exactly do you elevate your profile? Well, there are a few strategies that work really well in the US. And the first one is media visibility. Americans trust experts who are featured in reputable outlets. Start with trade publications, podcasts, even small ones to get started, or LinkedIn articles that reach your target audience. Even one well-placed article can create a ripple effect of credibility, whereas in Europe, for example, people might make fun of you for paying to be in Forbes. In the US, people will be like, hey, good for you for doing that for your brand. That's awesome. Very American there. But again, it's a different culture and there's just different codes of how to do this stuff. The second thing is public speaking. Now, speaking at conferences or hosting webinars, that shows your leadership and your expertise. And U.S. audiences value thought leaders who share their knowledge publicly. And this is a mistake that I made in my last business, was thinking that I had to run a new webinar each time. It was so much work and honestly, for not always a lot of payoff. But then I found a smarter way, which is basically just run the same webinar each time and improve it a little each time. And plus, since people see that you're doing the same thing each time, they start to remember what you're all about. So building up one key signature presentation that you can do anywhere saves you time and also makes you stand out and become known for that topic. Now, the third thing that works is consistency, of course. In the US, being visible means showing up consistently, whether that is in person, online, through content, probably a little bit of all of that. But here's the key. Again, you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. Reuse your best performing post, turn a webinar into a blog, repurpose client success stories into short video clips, run that same webinar all the time. Americans appreciate this repetition because it reinforces your expertise. And in fact, hearing your message multiple times with the same words makes them more likely to remember you when they need your services. So they need to keep hearing you say the same thing over and over. It's okay. Now, here are the two biggest mistakes that I see European entrepreneurs fall into. The first is waiting until you feel ready. There is never a perfect time to pitch yourself for a podcast or a post on LinkedIn. Start before you're ready. As soon as you start thinking about getting US clients, get the ball rolling right then, and don't be afraid of hearing no for an answer. It's okay. The next one is, like I said, hoping for opportunities. Opportunities do not fall into your lap in the US. It's very rare. You have to actively seek them out. And in the Transatlantic Entrepreneur Accelerator, we help you build this roadmap to create those opportunities, and we work with you to do it. So when you approach your visibility with strategy, you're guaranteed, like I can guarantee that you will elevate your profile. You're no longer invisible. You become the expert that American clients trust, and that leads to more opportunities, higher revenue, and a stronger global presence. So the next challenge for you is then turning this elevated profile that you've now built into real connections that lead to clients, partnerships, and growth. That is going to be the fifth and final step, which I'll show you in the next video, which is all about networking the American way, strategically, authentically, and most importantly, in a way that gets results. So if you're ready to make some changes right now, you can check out my webinar, 5 Steps to Getting More American Clients. It's on demand, it's free, and the link to watch that is in the notes below this episode. And now let's make you visible, valuable, and well-connected in the US market.
Ready to get more American clients and grow your revenue in the US market? Join our next Transatlantic Entrepreneur Workshop and start building your US client pipeline today. Reserve your spot now using the link in the show notes. Set your course, take bold action, and let's chart your course to success in the US.